You slam the alarm, grope for your phone, and scroll half awake through a tide of overnight pings. A mental drill sergeant starts barking, "Gym, coffee, spreadsheets, move." But under that racket, another voice whispers, wobbly, almost drowned out, "I'm tired, I'm nervous, please slow down." Picture the source of that plea. A 5-year-old version of you, clutching a teddy, blinking at the glare of your grown-up schedule. Pause and really imagine it. Same haircut from the class photo, same scuffed sneakers, except now they're following you onto a crowded subway. Doors slam, shoulders jostle, announcements screech. The kid's small hand curls around your sleeve. Suddenly, the routine you call just commuting looks gigantic and weird. Your reflex is to kneel, soften your voice, offer safety. That instinct, that natural kindness you'd extend to any frightened child, is the missing ingredient in most self-care plans. So try an experiment today. Pretend that little passenger sits in a backpack you carry everywhere. When you fire up the laptop, they crane over the keyboard. When you hustle to a meeting, they trot beside you, wide-eyed at the echoing hallway. Each decision you make passes through 2 questions. Is this too heavy for them? If it is, what would I do for any tired kid? Your answers appear without effort because compassion for children is wired in. Maybe you'd offer a sip of water, speak more slowly, promise a break after the hard part. Give yourself the same. 9:30, first video call. The agenda is thorny, tension high. Imagine pushing that small child onto camera to defend your pitch. Ridiculous, right? But your pounding pulse says a piece of you feels exactly that exposed. Instead of scolding yourself, come on, be professional. Coach the inner kid like a gentle teacher. One deep breath, shoulders down. Talk as if explaining to a friendly neighbor, not a firing squad. The room softens and the knot in your stomach loosens a notch. By noon, you usually bolt lunch while doom-scrolling headlines. Today, the kid taps your wrist. "Son, please?" You step outside, park on a warm patch of curb, and actually taste your sandwich. 5 unhurried minutes later, your brain feels clearer than any espresso shot. Turns out low energy was simple hunger for protein, daylight, and quiet. Basic toddler needs dressed up as adult fatigue. Afternoon rush, final slides for tomorrow's presentation. You've redlined the deck so many times you can't read it anymore. The little passenger's eyelids droop. They're nearing meltdown. You compromise. Save, close, walk once around the block. Fresh air in, shoulders back, perspective restored. 10 minutes that feel luxurious but cost less than the mistakes you'd make running on fumes. Workday over, platform packed, train delayed. Your inner child shrinks at the metallic howl as cars grind in. You slip to the quieter end, pop in earbuds, choose a calm song, because you'd never leave a real kid rattling in that din without comfort. Self-care isn't bubble baths and scented candles, it's micro acts of protection slipped into ordinary minutes. Home at last. The old routine says open the laptop, just for a bit. Instead, you hear a small yawn. Story time? You swap screen glow for lamplight and pages. 10 paragraphs in, your own eyes droop. Bedtime. No spreadsheet will implode overnight. You set the phone on silent across the room, nestle under the blanket, and feel the day unclench. While you drift off, a realization clicks. The headaches, the edge in your voice, the Sunday night dread were SOS signals from that same small passenger, ignored for years. Self-care felt awkward because you tried adult solutions for child-sized wounds. Treat the wound, and the symptoms fade. Morning again. Alarm chirps. Before you swing out of bed, you ask a new first question. What does the child in me need today? Maybe it's a real breakfast, not caffeine. Maybe it's a playlist that steadies nerves on the drive. Maybe it's permission to say, "I'll get back to you," instead of instant yeses that clog your calendar. Each small yes to the child frees bandwidth for the adult. Clearer focus, steadier patience, ideas that spark instead of sputter. Someone may sneer, isn't adulthood about resilience? Real resilience isn't white-knuckling through silent pain. It's noticing pain early and meeting it before it turns into injury. Exactly what a good parent does. A calm, kind grown-up is not childish. They're rare and powerful. They walk through the same chaos as everyone else, but with a protected core that never forgets the world, can be safe and good. Keep the question handy, write it on a sticky note, set it as a phone reminder, whisper it at red lights. What does the child in me need right now? Water? Stretch? A no that costs a flash of awkwardness but saves a week of resentment? Every answered need lightens the backpack. 2 weeks from now, you may notice that inner 5-year-old skipping beside you instead of dragging behind. They point at things you used to skip past. A cloud shaped like a dragon, a busker hammering rhythms on paint cans, sunlight pooling on the cafe floor. You pause, smile, and feel a bright little click inside. The sound of life lived in real time, not on autopilot. That's the whole practice. Protector and protected, big you and small you, moving together through the ordinary wild. Not perfect, not polished, but present. So as you step into whatever today holds, commutes, calls, grocery lines, let the smallest passengers set the pace. Bend when they're weary, Breathe when they're scared. Laugh when something silly delights them. Because every time you honor that tiny voice, you teach yourself the oldest, deepest lesson of all. Compassion isn't extra. It's maintenance for the heart that carries you both.